What up, nerds? My name is Leslie Smith. Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative. Today we are going to be talking about my December monthly wrap-up. Everything I read, just a quick recap of what it was and what I thought about it. So with that, let's get into all of the adventures that took place between my fingertips. First up, I read A Very German Christmas. This is part of a collaboration that I did with the Codex Cantina. Last year was Russia, this year was Germany. Each year the goal is to look into how a different country, culture, how they celebrate Christmas, if they celebrate Christmas, read some of their Christmas stories. What do they eat? What do they drink? What do they do? Just all of that sort of fun thing. But this year was a very German Christmas. We had a lot of really fun videos that we did for this collection. I will have that playlist linked down in the description box down below, but it was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that. I did read a ton of short stories. I am not going to go into that detail here. It's just way too many because I started this new thing where I read a short story every day. That's how I get my day started. If you're interested in hearing more about all of those, head on over to Instagram. Follow me at _nerdy_narrative. Every day I'll post a picture along with a few thoughts about what I read, or maybe a quote that I felt just captured the essence of the story. And sometimes it's just what I felt about it, because you just don't always have enough that you can say about a short story that wouldn't be a spoiler. So sometimes feelings will suffice. So all of those you can find over there if you're interested. However, the majority of December was spent reading this collection of short stories by Richard Thomas, Spontaneous Human Combustion. It is my top favorite collection that I read in 2021. It is my favorite collection of short stories I've read to date. Now, granted, that is not a whole lot, but I'm working on it. We're gonna see if this one continues to hold its place as number one. The second one is What One Wouldn't Do. I really didn't think anything was gonna edge that anthology out, but boy howdy did this one come in swinging. Fantastic collection. It's out February 22nd. I'll have a link in the description box down below if you'd like to see about pre-ordering it. It is worth having. If you love horror, if you love fantasy, magical realism, things that will make you think, science fiction, just all of these different elements are mixed into the stories here. Absolutely loved Richard Thomas's writing. If you're a fan of Stephen King, if you're a fan of Stephen Graham Jones, you will love Richard Thomas. My next adventure was Moses, Man of the Mountain by Zora Neale Hurston. Guys, I loved it. Loved every page. This is a Moses I would have absolutely followed. Absolutely. This is a retelling of the book of Exodus. Zora Neale Hurston blends the Old Testament Moses with the Moses from Black folklore, which in that he's a magician. Not only is Moses a magician, he's also a man who doesn't take anything off anyone. You know, he just puts it like it is. He did take a little bit of flack from the Hebrews, but when I tell you he gave it right back, he gave it right back. Favorite biblical retelling I've ever read. Cannot wait to reread it, and I will reread this many, many times. I also read The Trouble with Peace by Joe Abercrombie, which is the second book in his Age of Madness trilogy. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Abercrombie is both predictable and unexpected. I don't know how to describe it other than that, but I loved this. I loved the development. I got really tickled at myself because I was like, there is no plot to this one. This is all characters. And my friend Penny, who I was buddy reading it with, she said, well, Leslie, it's a time of peace. That there's nothing else going on. And then the next chapter, that all went straight out the window. Absolutely loved it. Abercrombie can do no wrong in my opinion. This is really funny because I'm looking at what I've got left here. The Trouble with Peace was book 2 in a trilogy. Sin Eater is book 2 in a trilogy. And then the next one I'm going to talk about is book 2 in a trilogy. So next up, I read Sin Eater by Mike Shell. It is the second book in the Iconoclast series. It's a dark fantasy, indie, self-published book. I loved it. It is my favorite in the series. I have since completed the series, but oh my gosh. This one was wonderful, wonderful. We just got so much more character development. We got a lot of really great history. We got some revelations that were just mind-blowing. I loved it. Then, continuing on with book 2s and trilogies, I finally read Flamefall by Rosaria Munda. This one, I did have an issue with it. It's that familiar YA trope of miscommunication. So they miscommunicated, and then they kind of, after that, just assumed what the other one was thinking and doing. And so they wouldn't talk to each other. It was highly frustrating. I understand what the author was using that for, but it was just so annoying, so annoying. Fortunately, all of the other good stuff involving the possible second revolution or the threat of civil war and just all of that going on, that was done so well. It was so good, so good, so good. And even though I hated that whole non-communication stuff, when I finished this one, if book 3 had already been out, I would have been going straight into it. Absolutely. So it is possible to not like a trope and still love a book. Maybe I'm the only one that does that. I don't know. And then the final book that I read in the month of December is The Bear and the Nightingale. This is by Catherine Arden. It's the first book in the Winter Night trilogy. I started out not sure. I didn't think I was going to really get into this one. It's a Russian-inspired fairy tale. That's how I describe it. And it took me about 5 chapters to really get ensnared in the story and just taken up in the magic. I absolutely loved it. Just this author's ability to transport you into this world is just top notch. In fact, at time of filming, I started the second book in the trilogy last night, and the prologue just instantly took me back in. I loved it. I highly recommend this one to anyone who loves fantasy, who loves Russian-inspired stories. I think you would love this one. It's just a wonderful fantasy tale that has the right kind of magic, like the magical kind of magic, the magic that makes you smile and just wonder at it. It is such a fantastic story. I can't wait to continue on with the series. I do feel like it's going to be one that I reread this time every year. And that will take care of everything I read in the month of December. It was a great reading month. I really enjoyed everything I read. I'm just kind of looking again. So I've read the entire Iconoclast series by Mike Shell. Sin Eater, the book I read this month, is my favorite in that series. Let's see, Moses Man of the Mountain, that's my new favorite biblical retelling. Spontaneous Human Combustion is my favorite short story collection. And then The Bear and the Nightingale wins for new author, new trilogy. Like, I just could not have asked for a better reading month. Absolutely could not have asked for a better reading month. What was your favorite read of December? My favorites. Whew. I'm gonna go with Spontaneous Human Combustion as my favorite short stories. And I read a short story every day. And I'm not gonna go through all of the short stories that I read, but definitely Spontaneous Human Combustion won the short story category. Novel. Gosh, it is... I can't decide between The Bear and the Nightingale and Moses Man of the Mountain. That's hard. Can I do a classic and say Moses Man of the Mountain and then fantasy say The Bear and the Nightingale? It's my video. I can cheat. I'm going to do 2. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have had a wonderful morning. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope the rest of your day is absolutely amazing. And I will see you in the next one.